my wife and I went to a party one night, to a friend's party, and I came home that night. I was a drinker, and I came home drunk. And that time my daughter was 14, my son was 10, and of course they seen their dad sprawled on the floor, bathroom, drunk. And that was the night I asked God to help me. And I never asked God for help. I didn't need God in my life. And that's what I thought. And after that, whatever it was, I didn't know what it was at first, but I began to pick up my daughter's Bible and began to read. And I continued to read. And it's interesting how it all worked out, but it was 2 years to the day. And when I got up one morning and went to the barn, and I stepped in the barn door, and it's like, oh man, on my knees, crying, asking God to forgive me, asking Christ to come in my life. And from that time on, it's been a different life. Continue to read and study God's Word, communicate with Him, and then I go and tell people it's not about religion, it's not about do's and don'ts, it's about a relationship with Him, and He wants that so much with each one of us. And people just don't get it. I didn't get it for 40 years, but it is so real. And because I know it's real, because the changes that He's made in me. And you want people to have that. I want everybody to have that. And so you share it, and you share it, and you share it, and you sow the seeds, and that's where the farming comes in. I look at that as planting the seeds out there in the field, and I'm planting the seeds over here, the spiritual seeds of somebody. I back up to May the 2nd in 2010. It was on a Sunday evening, and I was in the tool shed just talking. And of course, I'm pretty easy about bringing up the conversation about my faith and about Christ. And so we were there for, I don't know how long it was quite a while. And we got to talk about our salvation. And so Dad, I said, so what happens tonight if you die tonight? Where are you going to spend eternity? Are you going to heaven or are you going to hell? And he looked at me and said, I don't know. I said, Dad, let me show you something. Let me tell you about the good news. I got to lead my dad to Christ, not knowing 6 months later he's going to be gone. That's the hope us Christians have, that we can want to see him again. God worked through me to lead my dad to Christ. If you was to ask me, what's your biggest accomplishment here on this earth? And as of today, that would be it, to get to lead Dad to Christ.